Gay, 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 gay. Hi. Ooh, watch. It's really hot, so be careful. Have you ever wondered, am I the asshole? Welcome to Who's the Asshole, a Grindr podcast where we're not only talking, we're getting into it. I'm your host, Katya, and I'm here to probe into your juiciest, messiest stories. So bend over, ladies, because I want to see the receipts. Today's guest is a world-renowned Olympian skier. In 2015, he came out on the cover of ESPN magazine, becoming the first openly gay professional athlete in any action sport. Not only is he a silver medal-winning skier, but he's also appeared on screen in American Horror Story 1984, 80 for Brady, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead remake, and more. Welcome, Gus Kenworthy! Oh!
Thank you for having me.
I saw you on American Horror Story 1984. Hot.
Oh, thanks.
Was that experience, like, what was it like?
It was amazing, yeah.
Scary?
I mean, it was scary, yeah. Leading up to shooting, I was having literal nightmares that, like, I would be on set and they'd yell action and, like, I didn't know what the scene was and had never been told the scene and didn't know lines and didn't know where to go. And, like, that was, like, a reoccurring nightmare. But it was great. I mean, I liked the people that I worked with. Like, that's, like, what I want to pursue now is acting.
It's hard.
It is hard, yeah.
It's like harder than it looks. Kind of looks easy, and then it's like really like.
It is. It's really hard, and then when you're like in the moment, it's definitely like particularly hard. But it's also, I think the thing I like about it is that like you can kind of do it forever, and like with skiing, with sports, there's like such an expiration on it, but like with acting, you just kind of can keep getting better and better. And
look at Ed Harris.
Yeah,
grizzled and ornery and like 116, and he's killing it.
Yeah.
What is the shelf life on a Olympic skier?
I feel like I was pretty much at the kind of like ceiling for it, and I was 32 at this last Olympic one. I feel like it's like the peak age is like between like 18 and 25.
Gotcha.
Post-retirement from skiing has been like, it's been a little bit of a mind for sure.
You should be a commentator at the Olympics.
I would do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to like be pigeonholed into doing that all the time at all of the different events, but I would definitely do it at the Olympics. If I were able to like cherry pick which events I got to do, I want to like act or host.
Or do
it's like, honestly, like it's like, that was like a no. And now I'm like,
maybe. So you have to just right off the bat tell me like, what the hell is freestyle skiing?
I mean, there's actually kind of a couple different sports under it, but what I do is the disciplines I do are half pipe and slope style and big air. So it's like tricks.
Half pipe, slope style, and big air.
Yeah.
What is big air?
Big air is just one jump.
Okay.
It's kind of like best trick, but it's not like aerials. I don't know if you've seen like Olympic footage where it's like a vertical jump and you're going straight up in the air, and like it's like kind of a longer tabletop type jump, and it's just sort of like the best trick, or sometimes it's like your best two tricks in two different goes. And then slope styles, multiple jumps and rails. It almost kind of like an obstacle course, and you sort of pick which line you're going to take down the slope.
When did you start doing that, and do you have a death wish?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I started it because I like grew up in a mountain town and just started skiing when I was young. And then I have older brothers and they got into it. And my friend group when I was young was into it. So it kind of was just like the natural progression of things.
Do you know when I went skiing once and I hated it so much I cried the whole time? I'll never do it again.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like a lot of people's...
I feel like it's like a very you love it or you hate it kind of thing.
It's also when you start it earlier in life, I feel like it really helps.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Like gymnastics.
Yeah.
You gotta get in there young and fearless. Yeah. So you were at the Olympics in Sochi, Russia. Please tell me about all of the shenanigans that the Russians were doing. I mean, I've only heard stories about the horrible construction of like all the facilities.
Oh, I mean, it was...
Was it bad?
Literally insane. Like it was like the bathrooms didn't have sinks. They had like sinkholes. Like it was like a mess. And it was like, here's your accommodations, and it was like literally a jail cell.
From what I've gathered, like, it's not glamorous.
No.
You don't stay at the Four Seasons or like the Ritz or whatever. Not even a boarding school, right?
I thought you were going to say college. I was like, I don't know. I didn't do that.
Oh, that's smart.
It kind of is. It's like there's like a communal like mess hall where everyone eats, and it's like really stinky. And like the food is bad. When I was in Sochi, I basically ate like cereal and like canned tuna fish and crackers.
Oh my God.
It's very like international. So they'll like whatever the host country is, they'll have like their section of their food. And then there's like a little bit of stuff from everywhere else, but it's all like, it's like pretty bad.
Literally, I mean, I'm obsessed with Russian language, but Russian food is something that it's so disgusting to me. Like marinated mushroom, pickled herring.
Oh, marinated mushroom sounds like good, actually.
Oh, you don't like that? I mean, it's just.
But yeah, it's not good. The food was not good. It's like it's bad and smelly.
Crazy. You're like professional athletes at the top of your game, doing competing for the highest honor, and you get to eat crap. I mean, can you bring your own food to the Olympics?
You can actually. So and like every country has their own house. Like there's like the Team USA house, and they like ship over things to try and make it like more comfortable. But basically, the whole thing is that it's supposed to be like equitable for everybody. So it's like no one has nicer accommodations. Everyone has the worst possible accommodations. It's like I feel like it could be a little nicer. And then some people, like if you're like rich and famous, I feel like you don't stay in the athlete village and you like stay separately.
So you
and
don't have to.
Well, I did all 3 times. I'm not rich and famous, but
you're just
more rich and famous people.
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, I feel like it's hard to get rich as an athlete in America or anywhere really, because it's all about just endorsements, right? I mean, like, how much do you make?
Me personally?
Like, no. Sorry. That's like so tacky. That's so tacky to ask. How much do you make if you win a medal? Do you make money?
Like literally none.
What?
I mean, I think you do. I mean, it's really nothing, but you also get taxed on your medal. And it's like, that's the whole thing. And that's why there's like all the stories of athletes, like working all these different jobs. And that's why there's grants and stuff, because basically like some countries do pay their athletes to be on the team.
Yes.
But the US does not.
They sure don't.
It's not government subsidized at all. All the money comes through sponsorships and grants, but even that sponsorship doesn't really trickle down to the athletes. It's kind of crazy.
You have to be either Simone Biles or that's it.
Yeah, basically.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like she's the only athlete who makes a lot of money, and it's all through endorsements, but that's up. Also, you spend so much money on training.
Yeah.
And then if you
that's like the only benefit of like when you're on the US team, I guess I shouldn't say the only benefit, but like when you're on the US team, like they cover some of the training costs and they also provide your insurance.
Oh, that's probably helpful.
But then you don't get paid anything and you don't like, they're not like paying your rent. So it's like you have to have sponsorships and endorsement deals to basically be making any money or like covering your living costs.
That's a racket.
Yeah.
Have you ever skied naked?
I have, yeah. I did the ESPN body issue.
That's right. What was that like?
It was like fun, kind of. I don't know. I like wanted to do it. And then when I was asked to do it, I was like, amazing. And then when I was like actually out there, I was like, I don't want to do this. It actually was kind of crazy. They like took everyone's phones and it was in Mammoth.
Okay.
And they like it was after hours. So it was like cold. It was like during sunset.
Yeah. Shrinkage.
Cold. And then like, here'd be the guy and they'd be like shooting him and like, oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. I don't know. I just wanted to see. I don't know why I did that. I've ruined everything. But like, there's him, and like, it's shooting this way, so like, we're not seeing his or anything.
Yeah.
But then like, the photo editor would be like over there with her cell phone, and I was like, oh, this is like sort of uncomfortable. Ooh. And also, I don't know if I should throw her under the bus.
Do it.
Well, at one point too, I like sort of made a joke. I was like, I don't know, like something about like, oh well, like this will be easy to like hide myself because like it's so cold and so small right now. Yeah. And then she was like, no, you're not small. You know whose is small, and said someone. And I was like, that's crazy.
That's amazing.
I know. And so I'm going to say it now. No, I'm not.
You have to tell me off camera.
I'll tell you off camera.
Let's just get into guys really quick.
Let's do it.
True or false?
Yeah.
The size of your corresponds with another part of your body or your height, in your opinion?
I mean, I feel like true, but I feel like guys with big noses have big.
That's one I've never heard before. Interesting. I personally believe it is false, only because I've met like a giant with a peanut pecker, and then
I have definitely too. I've definitely like, hooked up with tall guys that don't have big, and then like some short king that has a mouth.
I want to get your opinion on this. Doping. I personally feel that the IOC should not have any rules or regulations around doping, that any country and any athlete can turn into an absolute monster from steroids and anything, and it can just be a monster race. How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I would want to watch that.
Right.
But I feel like it should be like a different thing.
Oh, like the Monster Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, Listen, when we're talking about Russia, they cheat all the time, no matter what.
Yeah, and like China, and like there's always like scandals about things, and it's kind of hard too because there's like the global organization that controls doping, but it's actually up to each and every individual federation, and like the U.S. is really, really strict and crazy about it and adheres to it. But a lot of other countries like don't, or people like I don't know. So it's like it's just kind of tricky for our sport. Like we still got drug tested all the time, but like they wouldn't help you. Like performance enhancing drugs wouldn't help you in my sport, or like I don't think in figure skating they would. It's more like technique and execution versus like strength or like endurance, where it's like you would have a benefit to being able to like be stronger or like go longer.
That makes sense. Distance sports and stuff like swimming and running and all that.
Yeah.
We're gonna play a game. The game is called Asshole or Not. I'm gonna list some behaviors and you're gonna decide if they're good or bad, if it's like an holy thing or not. Okay. So first one is splitting the bill on a first date. Is that okay or not okay?
It's okay, but I feel like if you asked someone out on a date and then you also suggest splitting the bill, it's kind of
I think that's a little weird.
Yeah,
I think it's a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you ask someone out,
you pay.
You're paying.
Yeah.
Or if they insist on splitting the bill, then that's a different thing. But I feel like to ask someone and then be like, should we split this? Is like, I don't know.
Are you the type of person that would do the fake, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, I'll get this. Like, oh no, I'll get it. But
Not
you don't really mean it.
But I feel like I've done it with like, I don't know, like I'll like go out to dinner with like my manager or something. I'm like, I'll get this.
Oh, please. I'm going out to dinner with the manager. I'm not even bringing my wallet. That. Okay. Leaving a date early to meet up with someone hotter.
I mean, I feel like, that's definitely behavior.
Like,
but it's also like kind of like I support.
Yeah. What about this? Saying you adopted your dog, but they're really from a breeder.
That's very but I also feel like people do that. Like I feel like my dog is really a rescue. She came from a dog meat farm in South Korea. And I know.
Jesus Christ.
I know. But I do feel like sometimes people are like, oh my God, what kind of dog is she? And I'm like, oh, she's kind of a mutt. She's like a lot of Korean Jindo. I don't know if those DNA tests are accurate or whatever. And they're like, oh, mine's a rescue too. And I'm like, that's a golden retriever.
How do you identify a dog that's been from a breeder?
I guess I just feel like if it's like a recognizable breed, I often assume it's not adopted. But you never know. There are circumstances.
What about hosting when your roommate is home?
I think that's like pretty normal.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a roommate, but it's like, I feel like hosting what? Like having someone come over for a hookup? Like, I feel like, that's fine. Like you live together. That place is yours.
What about like having like headboard pounding, raucous, wildly loud sex while your roommate is there watching Netflix?
I mean, I don't know if I would say it's like, it's just like awkward.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Your roommate also is then entitled to do that same thing.
Yeah, I guess if it
also depends if you're like friend roommates or like just literally roommates. You don't know each other.
I had a roommate in college, and we had this dorm, and he used to this girl like it was going out of style. Like
it is actually going out of style.
It is. Dating a friend's ex, even if they say they're okay with it.
Depends how close of a friend. It depends how long they dated, and it depends how long they've been broken up.
That is really, okay.
So I feel like a close friend, long relationship, even if it's been a long time, I think it's pretty off limits.
Okay. I think I agree.
But I think close friend, short relationship, soon after, off limits, a while later,
a year,
fine.
A year?
Yeah, if they dated for less than a year and it's been a year and your friend says it's fine, I feel like that's fine. I feel like that's actually the key, that you have to like ask them if it's okay.
But you know what, though? I feel like a lot of people would say, of course it's okay. And then they're like, I
don't know. I mean, like,
it's
the gay community. I feel like it's like a little bit incestuous in that way.
Absolutely. Everybody's everybody. Everybody's everybody, and everybody will everybody.
Yeah.
Wait, what about reacting to a pig with a thumbs up?
I feel like I
love that.
Have done that. I feel like a thumbs up is like savage. Like I feel like that's actually the most passive aggressive answer to like literally anything.
I kind of do.
Like if someone thumbs up a text to me, I don't assume that it means over. Like cool, like I heard you. I feel like it's like, oh, they literally hate my guts.
You block them.
Yeah. But I feel like I've done that where like someone sends a nude and like on Instagram or something, and like I'm not really interested, or like I'm seeing someone new or whatever it is, and like I'll just double tap it. Like I'm not going to respond to it. I don't want to actually engage, but I also feel a little bad just like completely ignoring it.
It's the version of when Troye Sivan was tweeted at by Tyler Oakley, asking, he's like, "I'm learning the piano. Can we do a duet?" And Troy was like, "No, but keep going." You know, like that is it's that kind of energy. It's like, "I'm not interested, but good for you."
Yes, very that.
You know?
Right, that's actually really funny.
Oh, it was great. Giving your partner a timeline to define the relationship sounds like kind of like an ultimatum.
It's kind of weird to give an ultimatum early on like that, where it's like, I need to know by next month what we are. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that happens where like one person is ready to sort of define it and maybe the other person isn't. But I feel like giving them an ultimatum is just going to like, I feel like push them away.
Yeah. What is the conversation actually? Or is it something that's more unspoken?
I mean, like, I think it's spoken, but I feel like it's like, are we like exclusive? Are we still hooking up with other people? Are we together? Are we boyfriends? It's like there's so many tiers and things that like you can be seeing someone but you're not dating. You can be dating someone but you're not boyfriends.
Right. You can be boyfriends but you're not
exclusive.
Yeah, there's a lot of different it's like a buffet style that's really confusing. Do you have a lot of friends or know a lot of people who are?
I do have a lot of friends.
Yes. Who are in exclusive monogamous relationships and are gay?
I would not say a lot. No. Okay. I would say most of the people that I know that are in like long-term relationships are in some way, shape, or form open. I mean, I definitely have friends that are in relationships that are like wide open. They can do whatever they want. I have friends that are in relationships where it's like sometimes they'll like hook up with someone together, like on a trip or something. Okay. And it's like there's different levels of it, different degrees of it. But I feel like I don't know that many couples that are together for a long time that are completely exclusive. But I do know some.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fascinated by all the different rules and like parameters that couples have for like defining their relationship and how they evolve. But I am so jealous that I don't think I could do an open relationship. Are you jealous? Do you get jealous?
Not really. A little bit. I also think like a little bit of jealousy is like good. Like if you're not jealous at all, it's kind of like, I don't know if you're really that interested in this person.
That's true. Yeah,
I feel like there should be like a little
kind of
bit
romantic.
Like, yeah, it is like a little bit romantic to be like protective and I don't know. I'm also not saying that like all relationships should be open, but I kind of think that like one of the things that's beautiful about queer relationships is that we are just by nature non-traditional, so we don't actually have to conform to heteronormative traditions and like I feel like also we're sexual beings and like we can navigate that as I feel like the key and the baseline is like trust, honesty, communication, and like then you can set your own parameters, you can move through the relationship however you want to, and like there's a lot of room to
there's a lot of wiggle room.
Enjoy whatever it is that you want to enjoy.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that's the best thing about being queer. It's like there are no rules. Like you can make it up as you go along, and you don't have to follow the track that's been laid out by a lot of straight people, which I love.
Yeah,
asshole or not, gay ski week.
Not asshole.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that because I am a 25% owner of Telluride Gay Ski Week, but that's where I grew up. But they have a gay ski week. It's a lot smaller than like Aspen's or Park Cities. But it's really like, it's cute, it's special. I invested in it.
Okay, so we're going to hear a user story from our hotline. So let's bring in the phone and check our messages. This is our phone.
Very phallic.
Yeah.
When I was in college, I had this really close platonic gay friend. And one time I was excitedly showing him the sexy man that I was chatting with on Grindr, and he got all serious all of a sudden and went, "Oh, I know that guy. He's a bad guy." And I, respected my friend, and I was like, "Oh, shoot, do you prefer I not talk to him? What did he do?" And he said, "No, it's fine. You can talk to him. It's whatever." And so I did. I kept on my flirtations with the sexy man until one Friday night when me and my platonic gay friend, we went out drinking with some friends. And after he got drunk, he decided to declare, "No, I changed my mind. I'm not comfortable with you seeing him. He's an asshole." And so I went, "Oh," because I was about to meet him that night. I was literally about to go have a date / hook up with the sexy man. And then my friend told me hours before, "I don't want you to see him." So I was like, "Fine, I respect our friendship and I won't see him tonight." But then at 2 a.m., when I arrived home drunk to my apartment, the sexy man messaged me on Grindr and was like, hey, you still up? You want to come over? And I was like, oh, fine. No, unfortunately, I cannot go over. I just cannot do it tonight. I made up an excuse. And he was like, okay, well, if you change your mind, here's my address. And the address was across the street from my apartment.
Oh,
as you can imagine, I did go investigate the and then that investigation is what caused the falling out between me and my platonic best friend who was also gay. And now we are no longer friends because of that incident. So tell me, was I the asshole in this situation?
For this voice note, yes.
Yes, for that Moby Dick of a message.
I hope you have unlimited minutes, girl.
I know. Well, I think we're missing a critical piece of information.
Yeah, we don't know what happened with them.
What did the guy do to make him so bad? Did he murder your family? Does he butcher geese at the pond? Like, what is he?
Probably that.
Yeah. I mean, what does he do? Like, come on. If you have to have some kind of reason. If you tell me I can't somebody, I'm going to go him.
Yeah, honestly, you're actually probably making that person want it more.
Yeah. Also,
so unless you can like give them a valid reason,
yeah.
It's also like kind of
he killed my mom. You can't. Or, him.
Oh, we literally dated and like he cheated on me and he's like not cool and like whatever. It's like, okay, cool. That's like, I would respect that and not see that person. But if you're just like, don't see them. Actually, you can. Wait, no, don't. It's like, well,
yeah. I think he needs to reevaluate his platonic friendship more than any other like future romantic thing. That's so strange. That's a friend. That's an friend. You friend. So now we're gonna have a little segment to determine whether or not we are assholes. Okay. So the basics. So are you on Grindr? First of all,
no.
How can we get you on Grindr?
I have been before, but I'm not.
Is it still so not okay to be gay in sports?
Adam Rapon and I were the first two openly gay men in a Winter Olympics for the U.S. in 2018. So like it's not that long ago. And there's been a lot more athletes that have come out. And like in summer games, there's just more athletes in the Summer Olympics anyway. But there's more and more representation. And I feel like that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, sport is supposed to be inclusive. Like it's supposed to be for everybody. And like you could not speak the same language as someone, come from socioeconomic backgrounds that are completely different in different countries. And like they kick you a soccer ball, you kick it back and you're suddenly like playing a game and you're playing sport and you're participating. But it like isn't inclusive like that. And for gay people, it has not felt like a safe space. And I have so many people that will come up to me like on the street or at parties or whatever over the years that have been like, I was also a whatever sport, like I was an athlete, I did it until college, or I was a semi-professional athlete, or I like whatever level they made it to, the reason that they ultimately stopped doing it is because they didn't feel welcome or didn't feel safe.
That sucks.
And it sucks. Yeah, I feel like it is changing, but it's like, it's slow.
Yeah. Excelling in any sport is difficult enough without the psychological drama of like, oh my God, am I going to be like beaten up or the shit out of me or not welcome on my team or whatever? It's so stupid because it has nothing to do with who you're the sport. I just hate that. Do you feel that it's a bit cowardly or when people don't reveal their like sexual orientation, or do you feel like it's up to each person?
I mean, obviously I think it's up to each person. It's like such a personal journey. And like, I also like look at my own journey and like I was in the closet in 2014 and I won a medal and was like part of this press tour. The guy that won was the other two guys that got first and third were also American. And so it was like a US sweep and they made a huge fuss. There was all this press. And because the other two guys are single and they're like cute guys, it was like, we were this like, I don't know, like heartthrob trio.
Right.
And I was fully in the closet. I was like 21 years old, was just like not prepared to be answering these questions. And it was like all about like, who's your celebrity crush? What's your dream date? Do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah. How many girls do you want to do you like big boobs? Like, you like blondes or brunettes? You want to Angelina Jolie? That's I mean,
it basically like that kind of was like the vibe of the interviews. And so then I was like lying and I like hated myself. Like the press tour following the Olympics, I feel like for most athletes is like the pinnacle. Like that's like you can't get better than that. You've just won your medal and now you're getting to like bask in your glory. Because I just was like every single day I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to like go lie in another interview. But I was also like, I don't want this like Us Weekly interview to be the thing where I'm coming out and I've literally not told my mom. So it's like, I just was like, I felt such turmoil.
Holy that is heartbreaking for me to hear because that's like the absolute, your glory was tainted.
Yeah. I know, it kind of was actually. I mean, it was really hard. So it was like a tough month for me doing all these interviews, and like I was in a really, really, really dark place. But it was also kind of the catalyst for me to like want to come out and got those gears turning in my mind. And
I mean, it goes without saying that I'm sure the impact that, even if you don't set out to be like, I'm going to be an advocate or whatever, but you do something that's so risky and brave like you did, the impact that's had on other athletes, I'm positive, is just so monumental. At least that should feel good now.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, it does. And I feel like it's the same for you and for anyone. Like I feel
I'm not gay.
Right.
So, but yeah, I can sort of relate.
Sorry, I meant that. And sorry, it's the same for other drag queens.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if I wasn't gay this whole time?
I can't, and I won't.
I can't, and I won't.
No, but I feel like it's the same. Like anyone that's out in any capacity, even if it's like in a small town, it's like that person ends up being a beacon of hope for someone else, even if they don't really know it. And I feel like it's just that on a bigger scale. But then for someone like lying about it, like an athlete lying about it, like, no, I don't think it's, I mean, it's like everyone's on their own journey and their own timeline. And like, I guess I would implore other athletes that are at the top level, if they are out in other capacities, but not publicly. Like, I think there's a lot of good that can come from being out publicly in terms of changing perceptions and changing mentalities and trying to help sport be more inclusive for the next generation. But I also don't think that they owe it to them. They don't have to do it. They can do it on their own timeline. And
they certainly shouldn't be outed.
Yes, and no one should be outed.
Right. I just wish we would evolve quickly past the gay, straight, whatever thing.
I know. I mean, it would be so nice if you just don't have to talk about it.
Don't have to talk about it. Do you the Summer Olympics at all?
I like love watching Olympics, but I'm just like not a crazy huge sports fan. I mean, I do like watching.
It's so funny.
I know. And this is bad. I'm like, I can't.
Well, that's like me when I say I hate drag. Which is true, but whatever.
I love drag.
Good. Well, who's your favorite drag queen?
You.
No. Not
actually, me. You literally are up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Am I in the top 10?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Who's in the top 5?
I would say you're in top 5.
Okay. Well, who else though?
Bob.
Yes, of course.
I love Bob.
Bob's amazing. Who would you have sex with from Drag Race? I know me, so don't say that.
You.
Yeah.
I thought Pearl was really cute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pearl's totally f***able.
Milk.
Oh, duh. Right. We can leave it at that.
Okay.
If you could be the best in the world at any Summer Olympic sport for 1 year only, what would it be? Like I'm trying
to think of like what one makes the most money.
Yeah, I know. I don't think any of them do. I
mean, actually, like some of the new sports they added, like skateboarding was added. I feel like skateboarding is really cool.
Yeah.
I used to skateboard, or like surfing. Like if you could be the best in the world and go like win the Olympics for surfing,
that would be amazing.
That would be pretty cool.
That scares the out of me.
Yeah, I mean, I can like barely swim.
I suggest you watch YouTube videos of like riptides and whirlpools, do people get sucked in?
I know.
And die?
I got caught in a riptide once.
You did?
Yeah, years and years and years ago on like a GoPro team trip, and didn't know that you're supposed to just like let it take you out and then swim back to shore when you're like there.
Or like you swim to go to the side.
I was fully swimming against it. I was with someone else too. And I was like, oh my God, we're actually literally going to die. Like just getting exhausted and getting like pulled under and waves are coming. It was so scary. We were like screaming for help too. And like people on the shore couldn't hear us. It's like, it was like scary and also so embarrassing. And then this like group of surfers that was out on the water did hear us and like came over and like pulled us up onto their surfboards. It's like actually so embarrassing.
That's so cool though.
I know, it was so cool. And so that's why I say I surf.
Yeah. I am so afraid of like the ocean. One of my greatest fears is being dropped from a helicopter into the middle of the Pacific at midnight.
And also like the likelihood of that happening is high. So it's
super possible.
Scary.
It's very possible. It's almost imminent. Wait, are all athletes heads? Generally speaking.
I don't think so. I feel like
do you think the discipline that it takes to become like a professional athlete it informs your character in any way?
Yes. Yeah. I think that like sport just does a lot for you in terms of like sportsmanship and teamwork and like leadership skills and like all these different things.
How
but I actually feel like
that?
It's super important.
Yeah.
I feel like it also like, I don't know, that's like why like, I think like, I don't know, like the trans bans on sports are so up because it's like, you're actually just like literally hurting kids in sports that like want to like play with each other and like have fun and be outside and get some exercise and learn these important life skills. And like people just want to play sports.
Nobody wants it's the threatening. It's like the conservative people who are like, my daughter went to school a girl and came back a boy. You know, it's like, what the hell are you talking about? It's so wild. But in your experience, have you met other athletes who just have enormous egos? You know, who just don't. Are bad sportsmen or whatever. Like, for
sure. I have some, but I would say like for the most part, most of the athletes that I've like met or worked with or done things with, shoots and things like that, like have been great. Really? But I've definitely met a few that have been not great.
The scrutiny that these athletes are under is so intense. The microscope and everything they do or say, and even while like having cameras in your face, like before you perform or whatever, is like so up. And it's like, do you get nervous before an event? Like,
for sure.
Like, and how do you deal with the nerves?
I mean, like, as I got further along in my career, I feel like I got better at keeping them in check. But when I was like younger and like my first few years on the professional tour, like I would get nervous to the point of like nauseous and would like puke before contests sometimes and would just be like not able to eat anything. Like, and then I feel like as I just did it more and more and more, you get like a little more used to it. And it's like, I don't know, but like trying to like get control of your breathing is like important.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine like a sport that requires so much precision and has such a like high margin for error and injury.
Yeah.
Have you seen gnarly injuries from like, what's the worst one you've seen? Or
I was on a shoot in Austria when I was younger, and we were hitting this feature where it was like kind of like a barricade that keeps the snow from avalanching.
Okay.
But we were like airing off it, and the person that went before me did it, and there was like a tree stump underneath the snow, and he hit it and then kneed himself in the face, and like his like split through the bottom of his chin. His teeth were knocked out. They were like up in the roof of his mouth. His lip was like literally hanging off. Like it was so disgusting. And he like kind of held it together, and the filmer that was there shooting it, Dan, was like, Gus, I need you to like get his skis, get this, because we're like not even in a place where there's like patrol. I was like, I need you to do this, and like I ended up being more of a liability than this person who had just like mangled their face, and the person that was hurt was like grabbing their skis, and I was like,
oh my God.
Like so lightheaded. I don't know. I'm pretty good when I get hurt. Like I've had pretty bad injuries, but like when someone else is hurt, I am useless. Don't call on me. I could never be a doctor.
Oh my God. It's terrifying. Also, what is the worst injury you've suffered?
I broke my femur.
It's a big bone to break.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
I kind of broke it down toward the knee, so it wasn't as big, and I didn't have any issue with like the femoral artery.
Yeah.
Femoral.
Yeah. Well, that's good, because you can nick that. It's like lights out.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I don't know. I've broken legs, and actually the worst injuries I've had have probably been concussions.
This is a perfect segue into this question. Would you rather get by the alien or bottom for the predator? By the
I'm
alien.
trying to picture what they both look like.
Well, so the alien.
Which one's the one with like the crazy helmet?
That's the alien, and he's got the.
And he's.
Yeah, and he's got the mouth that comes out of the mouth with the teeth that come out of the.
Oh
teeth.
Yeah, I don't know if I want that. But also, what's the predator look like?
Predator's pretty hot. Predator's
he'd have a good.
He's also can be invisible. Predator is definitely packing. There's no question. But he's kind of ugly, but he can be invisible. So he could like, you know what I mean? Paper bag it if you need to.
He has a good body.
Oh yeah, he's super fit.
My friend Ryder always says, body doesn't excuse face.
I just agree.
I know. I'm like, sometimes it does actually.
Like you could do, because if you're in Eyes Wide Shut, like do a little masquerade mask.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, body does sometimes excuse face, and so I guess I'm going to bottom for predator.
Great.
That's going to be the headline of this article, and I'm already regretting
Gus
it.
Kenworthy,
Gus Kenworthy
for
gets by the predator.
Freddie or Jason?
Jason, sorry, Freddie's skin.
Yeah, it's probably
it's tough. That's tough.
It's tough.
It's not for me.
Jason or Michael Myers?
From Austin Powers.
No, from Halloween. From Halloween.
From Austin Powers, yes.
Yes.
I mean, I have literally no idea what Jason's working with. He's got a mask. He's like wearing a zip up, like one-piece suit. I'm like, I don't know anything that's going on there from head to toe, but I'm like weirdly kind of like still Jason.
Yeah, I would be shocked if he wasn't like hiding a cannon under that jumpsuit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also feel like Michael Myers is packing too. So it depends on like, I don't know. And they both don't talk. Neither of them talk.
That's a plus in both categories, yeah.
Yeah. Freddie won't shut the up. And
I know.
He's so
enough out of you with your fingernails, girl.
I know, he's such a okay. Do you think that athletes are better in the bedroom?
Then who?
People who are not like, don't do sports.
I don't know.
Like, so say you've got...
I can't say I feel like I haven't like that many athletes.
That's a bummer.
I don't know. I don't think there's like a total correlation. I have had sex with dancers. I've had sex with dancers where it's been really good. And I've also had sex with dancers where it hasn't been really good.
Ballet dancers know what time it is.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
But I feel like there's been people that I've like expected it to be good with, and it's maybe not bad, but it's been like whatever.
Yeah.
And then people where I've been surprised by it. So I feel like I don't know if there's like a total correlation.
Yeah. Have you ever been doing
Yeah.
Do you like them?
I mean, I've never been to an like I've heard about ones where you're like going and like checking your clothes and you're like fully naked.
Right.
And I went to Madrid Pride this last year and like went to like an afters that was basically like a sex party in a hotel room, but it was like it was hot because there's like so many people and like there's just something like kind of hot about it, but it was kind of like, oh, I wouldn't pick anyone in this room for like a one-on-one thing. So it's sort of like you're just like foregoing that because it's this big group thing. So it was kind of like, it was fine. And I actually didn't end up like staying very long and like wasn't super into it. And like I've been to like a couple bathhouses and like was like initially not into it when I went to the first one I went to. It took me like a while to like settle in. I was very like anxious about it.
Yeah, I can relate
but
to
then
that.
like I had fun.
Also, I feel like water is nice.
Yeah.
Like being in a group situation where there's like, you know, showers and like pools is very different than a hotel room or like a German dance floor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just love because if you smell like the cat's ass, you can just get cleaned right up. You know what I mean? Have you gone to Burning Man?
Yeah, I've been to Burning Man twice.
To me personally, when anybody describes the experience of Burning Man, it's my living hell.
It's definitely not for everybody. No. I mean, for me, it's like one of my favorite things that I've ever experienced in life. Yeah, it's so much fun. It's so freeing. It's really liberating. I mean, one of the things that's like, people are always like, well, you can't shower and I hate not being clean, but like, you kind of make do. I mean, the first time I went, I was not in an RV, but there's also camps that offer showers, and one of them's a gay camp. And so like you can go shower with soap and water, and it's like kind of chic, but the caveat's that like you do it with everyone watching. And so there's people that like come and like pull up chairs and they're sitting all around.
Get out of here.
But it's like kind of hot. Like I enjoyed doing it. So I like enjoyed kind of like showing off and having people watch, but I also got a shower. I
imagine it's quite permissible in like open in terms of like sexuality, right? No, there's like everything under the sun going on, right?
Everything under the sun, yeah. There's like an that
dome.
It's literally called. And then there's like a gay specific place that you can go, but it's also just like it's very sexual and like sexually charged, and there is something for everybody. It's not like gay specific. It's like
is there a off tent?
There actually like is, and on the schedule there's like things going on, and like one of them is like a circle.
Wow, it's like we got circle at 11, macrame at 12,
breathwork at noon.
Breathwork at noon. Then we have chanting at 4. Then
back to
back to the. It's so wild. I find like the organization of group sexual activities must be a logistical nightmare.
Well, I think in real life it is, but I feel like that's the thing that's kind of nice about there is like you don't actually have to organize. Like you could be at some DJ set having fun, doing whatever you want, and then be like, oh, should we pop into the or whatever?
Ride your bike
and
to
then
the
you go there, and it would already be happening and set up for you.
Fierce.
If you choose to partake.
Public sex, yay or nay?
Yeah, I'm pretty into it. It kind of depends on like public where like people could see it that like do not want to see it. Like, no, I think that's kind of disrespectful. And like if they're like could be kids around, it's like, no, I'm not into that at all. But like a dark room at a club, like I think it's kind of like hot to someone in a dark room.
That's wild.
Or like doing it in nature, but not necessarily with people around, I think is hot.
Yeah, like have you been to Deep Creek?
No.
It's in California. It's you hike way, way, way down into this valley, and you cross this like freezing cold lake into hot springs.
Oh, wow.
And the last time I was there, I mean, it's a super, super steep hike down to get there.
How long is the hike?
It's like an hour.
Okay.
The hike back is so f***ing intense. It's the kind of because you're like, oh my God, you're so relaxed. And then you have this like insane hike back up. But there's like pools of hot springs and people are like usually naked. You can be naked and a lot of people are and it's lovely.
Like straight people?
All gay and straight. Last time I was there, there was a straight couple filming, I think probably for OnlyFans. It was like,
get the content, girl.
I gave him the thumbs up. Do you like threesomes?
I do like threesomes, yeah.
What about foursomes on that thing? Like, when does it become group sex?
I'm like a serial monogamous. I mean, I guess I'm not necessarily, they haven't always been monogamous, but I've like always been in a relationship.
Really?
Like, literally my entire life. Yeah.
How long, what's the longest amount of time?
I was in a relationship in the closet. That relationship I ended shortly before I came out publicly. And then like at that same time started dating one of my exes. We were together for 4 years. It went pretty much butt up to when I dated my next ex for also 4 years.
Wow.
And then was single for like 4 months and then was with someone for a year. And now I'm with someone else. I'm like a mess. No. I'm always in a relationship. Because of that, I've had a lot of threesomes. Like yes. I would say I've had more threesomes than I have had sex like one-on-one with people.
Get out of town.
Because I've been in like relationships almost my entire life.
Right.
And like during some of those relationships, like at the beginning, they've all been monogamous.
Okay.
But then like at the end when they've been open, like I've had sex with other people without my partner. Mm. But most of the time that I've had sex with other people has been like a threesome or a foursome.
Fascinating. I find that for me, the key to a threesome was always being the guest in the special, like the guest star in the.
Yeah, because then you're getting all the attention.
Exactly. And also I can leave.
Yeah.
My nightmare is hosting a threesome. It's like, I just can't. Oh my God, it just gives me so much anxiety. I was at a gay resort and I did 2 threesomes in the same day. It was a big day for me. And like one older couple, one younger couple, and I just went in there and went out. It was just fabulous.
That is fabulous.
It's like the best. I feel like it's, have you ever had to kick somebody out of a threesome?
Yeah. I mean, like with my boyfriend or whatever, been like, oh, I think like, sorry, I don't know. Yeah.
How do you kick someone out without being an asshole? Well,
I feel like if you're all coming into it as individuals, it's harder. But I feel like if you're coming into it where like you're in a relationship, yeah, I don't know. You and your boyfriend usually have some kind of like you can like tell, and then I feel like it's kind of like you try and be kind of courteous. Like I feel like it's like, hey, like I think you're really great. It's been really fun, but like I think we're actually like maybe like not feeling it, or like I think we like or I don't know.
What if they start crying?
Then I'm like, okay, you can stay. You can keep crying.
Yeah.
But just go over there and jerk off. No, I've never had anybody cry.
Thank God. Have you ever, like, as a couple approach someone, like, you go out hunting for a third? What does that look like?
I don't know. I guess I would say, like, lead with that information. Like, I feel like sometimes people are weird and you, like, get pretty far along with someone and you're, like, thinking it's going to be a hookup. And then, like, oh, by the way, is it okay if, like, my boyfriend also joins? And then you see the boyfriend and it's, like, a literal cockroach. And it's, like...
Ooh, not the roach.
It's like,
hey, roach.
Predator.
I want an alien, and you got predator.
I meant alien. I also feel like my advice for threesomes is like if you're picking up a third, granted it's hard to sometimes know for sure, but like make sure they're kind of like equally into you and your partner, because I feel like
just gonna say
that's the thing that like ends up being the thing that makes threesomes not really work is if there's like obviously if you and your partner are together, you already have the bond, but like you want to make sure that this other person, like you're both into them and they're into both of you, because then it's like you're gonna all have fun. But when it's like
equilateral triangle,
if one person's into one person and not the other, or like you're kind of doing something like begrudgingly, it's like it just creates a weird dynamic.
I have been in that position, and I gotta tell you, it's like the sting of shame of like, I'm like, oh my God, that person is not into me. I'm like, I just want to run screaming. And then also like I've been on the other side where like, it's such a bummer. I think it's okay to lie. Like, oh my God, I have to pick my mom up from the airport. Get the out of here. You know what I mean? I think it's okay. Like, do you think lying, like a little white lie is okay? Or do you prefer to just tell the truth?
I do. Obviously, I think like telling the truth is usually the way to go. But I do think that like in a scenario like that, it's sometimes better to be like, whatever, make something up that's like not going to hurt the person's feelings and like cut it short.
Yeah. The bug people are coming to fumigate the whole house. You got to get the hell out of here. So,
bug people are here.
Yeah. Or you just have like cockroaches in a jar just ready, and then
we're really sticking with the cockroach theme. I'm like, you have cockroaches in a jar, and one of them's the person you're having a threesome with.
I want to thank you for being gay.
You're welcome.
And for being an out, proud, wonderful, hunky athlete.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Where can people find you online? Where can the children seek you out on the internet?
Social media is
Which ones?
Instagram.
Do you do TikTok?
I have one. I don't really do it.
Yeah.
But
how old are you?
33.
Oh, Jesus.
I know.
Yeah. Hope you make it.
Take the wheel. Yeah, thank you.
Just
it's just at Gus Kenworthy on Instagram and TikTok.
Are there any upcoming projects that you want to plug?
I'm doing the AIDS life cycle.
What? Okay.
This year. It's like 575-mile bike ride from San Francisco to LA. I mean, I'm sure you know about it.
Yeah, it seems crazy.
It is kind of crazy, but it's the last year that they're doing it. And I'm excited and everyone has to fundraise. So
please give him money.
Give me your money.
It's for AIDS, people.
Give me your money for AIDS, people.
Yeah, please.
No, but actually, like I did it in 2019 and I was like, oh, I want to raise like so much money. I was kind of like, oh, I have like whatever, 1 million something followers. If everyone gave $1, I would be so far past my fundraising goal.
Yeah.
And like, of course, not everyone's going to do that. And everyone's in different financial situations. But it ended up being that like, a small number of people donated a lot, which is amazing.
That's great.
But like, if I could please like implore anybody listening, like literally if you donated like $2, $5, if you have it, if you can, I would be so appreciative.
Yes.
It's for AIDS. It's for the Los Angeles and San Francisco LGBT centers. They do so much important work.
They're excellent organizations.
It's a really great cause. And also I literally have to bike like 600 miles for your money.
Thank you. We like the kind of money that jingles, but we prefer the kind that folds.
Yeah.
Okay. And if everybody gave like 10 cents or $10, we could just have no more AIDS.
Exactly.
Well, good luck on the AIDS life cycle. Please donate and follow Gus Kenworthy. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me.